Hello, everyone, and welcome to Career Talks. These talks are specially designed for parents and children to help their dreams turn into realities. And we also focus on topics that are of interest not only from the perspective of careers but also from personal growth. So, today we have with us an experienced psychologist, Ms. Riddhi Doshi, who will now dwell with us on the power of you. How do you create your own identity and your niche? So, welcome Riddhi to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Hemangi. Thank you for having me here.
Can you please share a little bit about you for the parents?
Hello to everybody. I'm Riddhi Doshi Patel. I'm a practicing child psychologist, a parenting counselor, a TEDx speaker, author, and I work with children and their parents in the space of mental health and parenting.
So, Riddhi, in this day and age, children often feel emotionally drained due to academic pressure, the demands that are there, maybe social pressure. So, what are some things or daily habits we can help our children cultivate to ensure that they are mentally stable, emotionally secure, and emerge more confident?
The most important here is, Hemangi, giving a space to a child to be just himself or herself, okay? The most important here is also that space is extremely non-judgmental. Now, when I say non-judgmental space by the parents, it is something where you don't judge even in your thoughts, even in your mind while your child is speaking. So that space has to be something which is just be the child's way of talking or connecting with the parent and not being judged by your own experiences or your own past. Also, when we are talking about non-judgmental space, here the most important is that are you listening to your child? All right, because if you are hearing what your child is saying, you will not be able to understand the child's patterns, the emotions, the hidden things. It's kind of reading between the lines. So if you're not understanding that of your child, you will never be able to support your child. You will never be able to understand what your child meant to tell you. So important is that you listen. Listen is just not the words, but the non-verbal cues which your child is throwing, the body is lacking. You need to understand that. Okay. Right. You need to pick up those patterns, those signals which your child gives you while talking or speaking about certain concepts, about certain concerns, and about certain things which is a fashion which the child might want to try it out.
Right. Okay. So I think most important is for parents to realize that you need to have a non-judgmental space,
Absolutely.
which is years of conditioning that you would probably
Absolutely.
need to get away from. So, we often underestimate our own inner strength, right? And children do too. So, what does the power of you actually mean? Because that was a topic that that we decided upon when we did this podcast. And how can individuals unlock their own emotional and mental potential?
The power of you is very important. And is the power of you is the external brand that you create? No, it is how well you are connected with self. The power of you is how well you understand your strengths, how well you understand your weaknesses, your shortcomings, how well you understand that what you want to explore, what is your need and what is your want also. The power of you is just not what you show to the outer world. The power of you is more that how do you show yourself? What is the reality? Are you in denial for your own strengths? Are you in denial about your own weaknesses? That also matters. How well you are connected with self, right? If you are somebody who's constantly living in past, or you are somebody who's constantly living in future, you will never be able to live in here and now and today and explore things or support your own self for the betterment of your own self, right? Okay. So while when talking about that how well you are connected and the brand you are known through your behavior, you are known through the way you write, you are known through the way you connect with other people, you are known through the way you make the other person feel, right? And that's all about while you are trying to connect with the other person and creating an outward brand. If it is within you, you will be able to give that to the other person, and that's how you're creating a brand. That's how people remember you. People remember the experiences that you gave them. All right, and that's how a brand of you is created. The more you are in, the more inner self of yours is satisfied, is happy, is contented, is aware, is mindful, is where the outer version of you is always going to be best.
Okay, so that brings me to my next question, which probably is most important. What are some practices that either young adults or children, or for that matter, even parents, can incorporate to understand this you?
Very important, right? uh, I would say the most important year is love. Love towards self, right? We are the species who love others more than self. Okay. Here, if you really talk about the word you, that is you as an individual, it is important that you love yourself. You take care of yourself. Okay, if you were the little version of yourself, wouldn't you love yourself? You would love that little baby, you would love that little pet of yours, you would love a new furniture that has come in your house, you would love the new setup you have created, you would love the new plant that you've gotten, right? Similarly, the you has to be loved. Okay, you need to take care, you need to really understand, you need to give time to yourself. There, you need to really understand your emotions. You need to do all the practices where you can list down your emotions, accept those emotions, start working on those emotions. So while we're talking about the brand, while you're talking about the word you, what matters is how well you are connected with self. There are practices like self hug. There are practices which I have been doing. As nonsense as it may seem to a third person, I believe they are the very strong practices which, if every individual starts doing it, it is okay to love yourself that way. All right, self hug. Then during a day, do it, just spending 20 minutes with yourself, where there is no phone, there is no TV, no spouses, no children, no friends, no parents, nobody. It is you and those 20 minutes where you're doing nothing. Okay, that matters. Just taking time off for yourself and doing things which you like. Maybe it's an hobby, maybe cooking something for your own self, maybe dancing, maybe just taking a canvas and doing anything on that board. It is you and the colors. I'm sure something good will come out of it. So it's all about giving priority to your own self. As much as we know this, we fail to implement it. But every time you're traveling, the flight attendant reminds you that you are important, right?
Right.
They tell you that wear the mask first for your own self and then support others. It constantly tells you that, she constantly tells you that you are important. If you take care of yourself, everything else is going to fall on place or fall in place, provided you give yourself, or you put yourself on the first pedestal, give priority to yourself.
Right. So there is one question that comes into my mind. Prioritizing yourself and being self-centered are very different, and for most of us, it's a very thin line. What's the difference between being self-centered and understanding whether your child is being self-centered or whether he or she is prioritizing themselves?
So let me explain this with an example, okay? So there's a piece of chocolate, the last piece of chocolate, okay? Now, if I am keeping myself on priority, I would say, is somebody wanting it? If nobody wants it, I might take it because I really want to eat it. I feel like eating it, okay? So that's putting myself in priority, my need in priority. Self-centered is किसी को भी पूछे बिना, the last piece, I want to eat, okay, I take it, okay? So I am just doing without even thinking about others. I am not expressing that this is my need to eat. I'm hungry, or probably I really want to eat that last piece of chocolate, okay? That is being self-centered. Self-centered is nothing but thinking about me. It's I, me, myself. Wherein self-prioritizing is that you prioritize your needs, you prioritize your wants, you prioritize your own self, your emotions, but you do not ignore other people around you.
Right.
You are empathetic, and you do respect and value the people around you, the things that is happening around you, the situations that is happening around you, or
Right.
you are a part of it. So prioritizing is nothing but giving yourself a little more importance, not at the cost of others, but at the cost of your own needs, and explaining the other person why it is important for you.
Okay. So, Riddhi, we have generally seen that with the rise of social media, and I would not only keep it to children, even parents, we are continuously, running a rat race where there are huge moments of self doubt, negativity, and we don't know how to come out of those, right? And I think younger generation, especially, because everybody there has a beautiful life, and we feel that, oh, my parents are not able to give me this, or I'm not able to afford this, and that sort of deters them from being the best version of themselves. I'm not saying that they won't be, but it sort of deters the process. So how do youngsters manage to keep a balance and understand that they are unique?
Youngsters will only be able to manage when they have understood to manage, when they are taught to manage. Okay, when the parents have created that bonding with youngsters where they talk about their lifestyle, they talk about what is special in that person as a child, is where they will understand. Otherwise, they will be surely attracted towards the best that they see on social media. And why they, as a matter of fact, even me, I would get to see, okay, wow,
Right.
they are holidaying here. Oh, they are using the best versions of the handbags and all. Okay, I really want to cite an example here. Years back, I was a part of a kitty group. Okay, the time while I shifted to Mumbai, I'm an expat here, and when I shifted to Mumbai, I just wanted to mingle with women. I wanted to understand people here. I had my relatives, but I had no friends here. Okay, and it was absolutely a new city for me. So the group of people I got to know from social media, they said, okay, we have a group and we're starting a kitty. I said, okay, I want to become a part of it. And there was a lady that's almost 18 years back. So she used to flaunt amazing bags on her social media. The Facebook बहुत prevalent
Right.
था. So she used to flaunt best of handbags, and I'm very fond of handbags. I have a wonderful collection of it. So I used to see, I said, where do you get these bags from? And she said, oh, I love it. This has been gifted by my husband. This my friend gave me. And I said, wow, very nice. After 6-7 years, it happened that I happened to meet a lady from the same kitty group. I left kitty in 1 year only because I thought that more than thinking, I felt that I was an odd man out who was absolutely paying the fines most of the times and not being part of the group there. So, but I loved meeting people, and after 6-7 years, I left after a year I left kitty, and after 6-7 years I met a lady who was a part of that kitty group, and कुछ बात निकली, and she said, तुम्हें वो पता है वो, and she was carrying the same bag. I said, I love the bag I saw of this lady where she was carrying. अच्छा वो तो मेरी ही थी. And I said, okay. Okay. So then while we were talking, she just expressed that for photographs, many a times this lady used to take my bags, and she used to take a photograph and give it to back, and says that she loves doing it. And I mean, she's my neighbor, so I was okay supporting her in that. And that made me realize that what we show on social media is not what the life we actually have, right? I keep telling my clients that, have you seen somebody talking on social media that आज मेरा सर दुख रहा है, या आज मुझे emotional imbalance हो रही है, या today I couldn't regulate my emotions and I threw a tantrum on my parent, I reacted on my parent. Would somebody say like that? And they said no. I said exactly. They would talk about, oh, I balance my emotions. Oh, I never throw tantrums. I'm the best pal to my parents. So they talk language which you want to listen. They talk language which you really want to see and understand. That's not the reality. Okay, so I feel that if the parents have given a base, a good space to the child to understand self, to talk, to just be himself or herself, I'm sure that child will not get attracted to the real world. He'll be more realistic, he'll be more grounded, and he or she will understand what her needs, wants, and strengths. I think
Right.
that's the space they will operate from.
Right. So, many a times we have children who are facing a lot of issues in school because of peer pressure, because of a lot of things that are going on. Riddhi, I want you to leave us with tips for these children that how we can help them and how can we choose the right sort of help, because again, going to a mental health practitioner, going to a psychologist is looked down upon.
Yeah.
So when should parents seek help?
Okay. So, to all the parents, and Hemangi, thank you for giving me this space to talk about the tips. So, to all the parents there, if your child is facing any sort of issues in the school, the most important is a 4-step process which your child needs to understand, and that is something which you as a parent can help your child understand. The first is the child should understand where to say no. If the child would not understand where to say no, is where you need to support your child, because जो बच्चा no नहीं बोल सकता है is the child who doesn't understand his or her own worth, has not got a space to speak and share at home front, and is constantly judged at home front and nagged at home front. Those are the children who get impacted at the school, front. So it's important that the child knows how to say no and when to say no. B, to inform the teacher. The 3, to inform the parents, and the 4th, the school principal. That has to be the process. B, as I mentioned just now, that if the child is unable to say no, is where the child doesn't understand his or her own worth. It means that you as a parent need to give that space where the child understands his or her worth. Now, would the child understand by just talking that, okay, तुम में ये अच्छा है, तुम में ये बुरा है? नहीं. The child will understand when you start acknowledging the best of the child. The child will start understanding when you start appreciating and accepting the way the child is. Appreciate and acknowledge all the smallest things of the child, genuinely giving your 100% as a parent, because the child looks up to you. For the child, you are the world. So when the world appreciates, the world accepts, the world acknowledge, is where the child understands, no, this is good in me. Involve the child in छोटे matters of the house, where it is all about setting a drawing room or color combinations in the room, or maybe putting up a plant, and which plant, or creating a menus. Those are the things where the child will feel very responsible, and the child will feel being a part of the family. So the child is not somebody whom you put on another pedestal and say तुम्हें नहीं समझ आएगा. No. By 1 year, start involving children in small matters of the house, especially the chores, especially small decisions. Even as a matter of fact, if you want to get a pet, involve your child in that. So when such things are taken care of, the child will not be bullied, or the child will not bully somebody at school front or make fun of somebody, because demeaning, talking about body shaming, I mean to say, having any sort of anxiety, anxiousness at school level, as it boils down everything at home, where it boils down to the home, where the parents are the core. So if you as a parent is taking care of certain things, your children will never be bullied at school front. So few tips which I just shared, I think if the parent starts doing this, and to give the best layer to this whole cake that we've been developing right now, or creating or baking together, is talking, having a family time. Okay, family time is nothing but talking about how the week has been, appreciating, acknowledging about each other, including your spouse, because that's something which we fail to do, and when we don't do it, our children will not understand. Gratitude, and doing any process together, like cooking or driving together out, going to a beach, having grocery shopping or your shopping is where you say or you clear cut send a message or help the child to understand that we as a family are taking important decisions together, we share our life together, we share our week together, we share our learnings together, yet we are different, yet we give space to each other, and we know how to say thank you. We are grateful to each member of the family, but we also don't appreciate things that which is not correct within the family structure. So this is something which, if the parents start doing it, I'm sure the children are in a good space.
So that's great. So I think that's where the word care comes from. Communication, acknowledging, accepting, giving responsibilities to ensure that they understand what are responsibilities, and ensuring that there is empathy towards the child and towards others. So thank you so much, Riddhi, for this amazing session, because as you said, parents are the key who will be responsible for the mental recharge of their children and their identity.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much, Riddhi, for your insights, and thank you so much for being with us on this show. Thank you so much.